Hello and welcome to the KDE Direct Design Engineering episode 10. I'm Patrick Koegler, the owner and lead designer for KDE Direct, and I'm here today very excited to show you our whole lineup of ESCs as well as some prototype products that we haven't yet released. So the goal here is to go through the design intent of the speed controls, all the details that you'll get when you receive it in the mail, as well as I'll show you a demonstration of the performance of the KDE Direct XF series. So the ESCs are tuned to the KDE Direct motors, and because of that you'll see some distinct performance advantages in how fast it can react, efficiency, and then also maximum throttle. All the good stuff we want to see. So I'll start off with our speed control series. We have 4 different editions. Very soon here we're going to be launching our 20 amp LV, we call it. It is a 2S to 6S capable ESC, very light and designed for you FPV racers out there, as well as any sort of light 450 to 500 class multi-rotor. Excellent edition. It has all the same design attributes as the larger editions that I'll go through. As well as we also have the 35 amp and the 55 amp edition. Now these are 2S to 8S capable, so for you guys wanting to push higher voltages than 6S into the 8S world where we can gain some advantages in thrust and efficiency, these are ready to go for you. And then also the 75 HV edition. So this is our flagship high voltage, ready to go speed control. It is 3S to 12S capable. So because of that, you can run it all the way up to our largest motor over here, which is our 7215 XF series, which is an absolute beast for commercial and industrial applications. So I'll go through some of the design details in just a second and show you what you're going to receive in the box, as well as we'll give you a sneak preview of our upcoming Propeller line. Now here at KDE Direct we've tested various propellers from all types of manufacturers, and we've never really been very impressed with the quality of the materials being used. So what we're excited to do is launch true pre-preg laid carbon fiber propellers, stuff that you normally wouldn't see unless you're in the very high-end racing, radio control area, or even military applications. Well, we're going to bring that out to the multi-rotor world. And as an example, here is our 28-inch propeller. So this is designed for the 7215 series with the 75 HV controller. And as you can see, it's got beautiful aesthetics, and it's actual true pre-preg laid up carbon fiber. So a very high carbon content, extremely light. I know it's hard to see on film, but it's extremely light and extremely strong. I mean, it takes a lot of force to try and bend this. So it's extremely strong, very durable, and it is extremely efficient in the sky. It runs very quiet, and the airfoil is actually engineered, actually truly designed airfoil that runs extremely quiet, extremely strong, and efficient. As well as we also are going to be relaunching a 15-inch, a 16-inch, and an 18-inch edition. Now here is just a prototype 18-inch edition. And again, you can see the lines of it. It's beautiful aesthetics, all carbon fiber. They are pre-balanced at our facility, so they are CNC balanced to perfection, so that if you put these on to a propeller balancer, they should sit nice and flush for you and not introduce any vibrations to your helicopter. As well, again, as the airfoil is optimized, they're very high efficient and they run very quiet. We've been very pleased with the performance. And again, they are almost solid carbon. So you will notice, I mean, you can barely flex this stuff. Right away out of the box, you'll notice the difference in comparison to what we've kind of had to become accustomed to in the market. So look for these. They should be out about mid-fall, and we're looking forward to that. And I'll give you a sneak peek. You'll be able to see it running on the bench. So I'll go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Just wanted to show you kind of a layout of some of the products, including even very new release motors for FPV racers. This is a little 1806 motor that's a little tiny guy for FPV racing. It's got all the same design features as the larger brothers. So high temperature wire, Kevlar tie wraps around all the stator poles, curved magnets, all the goodies that the KDE Direct brand is known for. It's all in there, just shrunk down to a small package. As well as the 2206 series. This particular motor is a 2050 kV, so it's for 2 to 4S operation, and it is an absolute beast for FPV racing. This is definitely going to be a motor of choice, and I'm confident you guys are really going to enjoy it. As well as, here's a sneak preview of, or excuse me, actually this is a 4012 400, so this is a common motor out there, very popular. As well as a sneak preview of our upcoming 4215 series. So this comes from the same technology in the larger ones. It's a 24 slot, 22 magnet pull motor, very high efficiency and very high torque output in a small package. As well as the 5215 series, and then the larger brother 7215 series that is designed for heavy lifting industrial and commercial equipment. So for you video guys out there looking for a very dependable, very trustworthy solution for your aerial photography, LiDAR, camera systems, Hollywood class level stuff, look no further. We got all the products for you, and we're confident you'll really enjoy them. So, all right, without further ado, I'll get to opening up a speed control and show you what's inside. I'll go ahead and start with a brand new in the box KDE XF 75 amp HV controller. So, as you can see, delivered to you, it shows up nicely wrapped in a nice foam protected box. And first thing we'll do is just take off the shrink wrap. And it's actually kind of strong stuff sometimes. And we'll go ahead and take that off. And what you'll see is it's a lift top box, so just go ahead and open this up. And inside you'll see it's nicely presented in a wrapped foam package for you. So there is a sticker sheet for you for some decals for your canopy or toolbox, whatever you want to use them. They're great, they're there for you. And then here is the speed control presented to you. So at the top here is the installation and instruction manual, so make sure you read through that. There's all kinds of details about safety things and also proper setup. So make sure you refer to that and you are 100% confident in the operation of this device. So when we open it up, we'll go ahead and pull the speed control out here. Inside, before we get to that, you'll see at the bottom here are your connectors. So we include 6.5mm bullet 25K gold connectors for you, male and female, so this can be used for your power line, as well as 4mm. So you're ready to go whether you choose 4mm or 6.5 on this particular edition. The smaller ones will include 3.5mm bullets. That's kind of an industry standard on those setups. So, alright, so here you go. Here is the controller, and first off you'll notice right away is the nice heat sink that's fully CNC machined, ready to go for you. That's going to pull the heat away from those MOSFETs and keep your controller running well. So this particular edition is a 75 HV edition, so it can handle 75 amps continuous and go all the way up to 135 peak amp bursts, which is pretty incredible. So it is operatable up to 12S voltage. So this is the perfect match to our 7215 series as well as to our 5215 series for guys that want a little bit more amperage overhead or running in some hot environments. So now the design details themselves, there's lots of little things inside here I want to go through. So first thing you'll notice is nice silicone wire with pre-soldered ends and some protectant over those soldered ends. So this particular version is 12 gauge, and you can go ahead and solder whichever size bullet you want to use. We provided both of them for you, and you can just choose which one you want to take. So take off the protector and you're ready to go. Now the lead itself that plugs into your flight controller is just a standard, but it's actually heavy duty 22 gauge wire. So it's nice wire for you, a little bit more protection against scrapes, cuts, and a little stronger. The actual capacitors here are nice. The highest quality we can get 10,000 hour long life capacitors. So they're true Rubicon brand. These particular ones are 63 volt rated, so they're high voltage rated, and they're low ESR. So all the little fine details you want in good quality components. So inside are the MOSFETs, controller board, and again, we're purchasing the best components we can to produce the highest efficient and fastest reacting speed control we can. So the power lines on this particular version are 13 gauge, and they're the pre-soldered bullets. On this particular version, it's the 4mm female bullets that plug in directly to the provided pre-soldered bullets on all of our motors. So plug and play solution, there's no programming required. You're ready to go. and you just simply plug this into your setup and go fly. It's very nice. The algorithm internally is dynamic timing, dynamic PWM. For you guys out there that kind of get involved in some of the different firmware editions out there, there's Simon K's and some other open source code. This is not a Simon K base, and this is not open source. This is our own developed algorithm, internal to KDE Direct, that we use for all of our motors. So they're specifically tuned to the motors, so you're not having any commutation errors, and you're providing maximum thrust and maximum efficiency. It's all dynamically tuned. You don't have to adjust anything, and you're ready to fly. So, as well as one of the kind of cool features that we put on here that I've never seen before was a foam backing. So if you take the speed control and kind of squeeze on it, you're going to feel right away that there's a foam backing internally inside this shrink wrap. Now that's to protect the circuit board. So you can mount this to any position in your multi-rotor application, and it's going to be nicely protected for you. So that backside's a nice anti-vibration pad for you, and you can mount it directly to it and not worry about the dependability or durability of the electronics inside. So works extremely well, and confident you're really going to like that. So that is the code, and again, or the ESC, and again, it is a 600 hertz system. So it has the ability to upgrade as the technology gets better in the flight controller arena. Currently with flight controllers, the maximum that we've seen is about a 490 hertz refresh, which is on a standard bandwidth band. Now, later on, as technology progresses, they're going to go to narrower bands. You probably heard of 760 microsecond. Well, that's a narrower band that allows us to push the refresh rates and get even faster response out of these controllers. So these are ready to go up to 600 hertz, and they're ready to go on the other side's pulse width. So this speed control, not only is it ready and at the top of its game for today's technology, but it's ready for you in the years to come. It's totally ready to go for the expanding technology. So we're very proud of this series. They've done very well in the market, very well received. And again, it's all plug and play for you and very simple. We want to have good dependability and top level performance for you. So that is the speed control. Now, what I promised was to show you a demonstration of the performance, and we'll go ahead and get into that, and you can see what we're talking about and how excellent the performance is of these ESCs. So here's a quick introduction to the dyno that we use in our development scene. So what we're seeing here is our SIF 7215 XF 135 kV motor, and with again our prototype 28-inch prop, and I want to show you just how quiet and efficient this propeller really is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Futaba 18MZ radio. It's a very nice high-end radio, driven by the 75 amp controller. So this is all stuff available on the market, no gimmicks here. I'm going to use just a Futaba receiver and a direct throttle control, and this battery here, of course, is the receiver pack. These are opto-isolated ESCs, so they do require power to run. They do not provide an internal BEC. So this whole system is powered by a power supply, and I'm going to go ahead and just start off with 8S operation just to show you the kind of performance that this can produce. So when you first plug it in, you want to listen for the tones. Okay, so what you heard there was 8 beeps, and that's what it's telling you, is that it's seeing 8 lipos. That final arming tone, that final beep to the higher frequency, that tells you that it is armed and ready for operation. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and kick off throttle hold, and you'll see how easily and nicely smooth it starts up. And there you go, we're ready to go. And what I want to show you is not only how much air and power this motor can produce, but the reaction speed and how fast our ESCs are tuned to these controllers. So first thing I could do is go to full power, and it's going to move a lot of air and make a lot of noise, but here we go. There you go. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in here, but you can see on this is a digital force gauge, and it shows that it peaked at 10,820 grams of thrust. Pretty amazing on just 8S. And this is a very accurate force gauge, very nice high quality laboratory version. So now here's the big thing. People want to see how fast can these really react, and why is it that the KDE XF ESCs fly so much better than any brand out there. So what I'll show you here, and I'll try and get a view of the throttle control. This is going to be throttle, and I'll show you just how fast this system can react. Now let me try and get a better spot here. So I'll go ahead and start it up again. And now listen for how quick you'll hear the motor reacting. You hear how fast that is? Pretty incredible, really. It actually makes so much power it knocks the linear guide on the on our test setup. Right. You can see. And for you guys concerned about commutation errors or anything like that, I'll just go ahead and do a quick test and show you. That is full throttle from 0 to full. So again, you can see how fast, and again, we can go from 0 throttle to startup, and you'll see how fast it's going to react. There you go. You're ready to rock. You know, from actual startup to full throttle. There you go. Very fast reacting, extremely high torque, very high performance. So again, you can feel the speed control. It's nice and cool, and that was very abusive test to the controller. It's seeing very high amperage spikes as you're moving throttles so fast. So that is the 7215, and let me just give you a quick demonstration of the 18-inch with the 5215 series, and again, you'll see how fast this will react. I'll step it down to a 55 amp controller that's very popular, and I'll be right back. What I'm going to go ahead and show you on this one is the KDE 5215XF 435 kV motor. This is very popular for heavy lift 6S operation. And again, it's going to be running our prototype 18-inch propeller. Now in this particular setup, it's going to be running on the 55 amp controller, just to give you an example of what that can do. And this will be on a 6S setup, so same exact controller. I'm going to use the same radio. Everything is identical. So we'll go ahead and plug it in and listen for the tones. Okay, there's 6 tones, meaning we're running on a 6S LiPo, and then you hear the arming tone after that. So it is ready to go, and what I'll go ahead and do is start it up, and you can see just how smooth and good and quick the startup is. You know, I can just flick the switch off throttle hold, and there you go. So again, I just want to show you just how fast these motors can react. So if I can get a good view here, you can hear pretty incredible. The motor responds just as fast as I can move the stick. So for your fiberless setup, or not fiberless, excuse me, for your multi-rotor and flight controller, there is no limitation on what the flight controller can do. Not only is it going to improve your flight performance, but the efficiency of this setup is very good. We have full specifications on all our performance setups online, so if you want to see how this motor performs, go ahead and check it out there. So last thing, I know you FPV racers don't want to get left out, so I want to just show you how fast it is for the FPV racing crew as well. So I'll go ahead and change it out, and we'll do this last little segment. Here is our 20 amp ESC connected to the 2206 FPV racing motor. Now on this one I have a little 6-inch propeller on here, and I'll show you again just how fast and reactive this is and the performance it produces. So I'll go ahead and get it started. I'll plug it in, and first thing again, we'll listen for the beeps. Okay, if you could hear that, it was 3 beeps and then the arming tone just like before. And I'll go ahead, and again you can see the quick, nice startup. Nice and smooth, no problems there. And we'll go ahead and start having some fun. So you can see it's as fast as your servo and your fingers can move. I mean, it's faster than some servos, so it's very instantaneous power. And again, this is just from our very lightweight 20 amp ESC that you can see here, and it's ready to go. So I know you guys are going to have fun out there. You can hear how much power it's making, and your flight system is just going to work fantastic. So again, very excited to show you this. Worked very hard to make sure everything is working very well together. Lots and many hours of testing and development. So be good out there, have a lot of fun, be safe, and we will talk to you next time.